Hey guys, Celeste here from Hexen Arcane, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about a cult. This is a really bizarre story of a small cult. They're really out there, I think, and I found it just fascinating. Today I'm going to talk about Amy Carlson and the Love Has Won cult. This cult was also recently in the news when the leader, who called herself Mother God, was found dead and mummified in April of 2021. So how did Amy get to be Mother God, who is supposed to be God incarnate to her followers? Let's explore a little more about Amy. She was born on November 30th, 1975. She was described as having a normal childhood. She was raised by divorced parents. She was getting good grades in school and singing in the school choir. Her family said that she did not make great choices, though, when it came to relationships, and she had several failed marriages in her 20s. That brings us to 2006, where she was married and had 3 children with 3 different fathers, and she decided to leave her husband, her children, and the job she had at McDonald's, where she was working in Texas, and moved to Colorado to live with people she met online. She believed, or at least claimed to believe, that she had a destiny to usher in a grand awakening in humanity. Although she had 3 children and became known as Mother to the group she led, Amy's mother has stated that Amy was never a very maternal person. She got into this cult life when she, after the birth of her 3rd child, met a man who called himself Father Love and convinced her that she was Mother Love. The relationship with this man didn't last for long, but the name stuck, and Amy had several men that were called Father Love over the course of the years that she led the group. She was the only Mother Love. When Amy left Dallas, Texas, she moved to Crestone, Colorado, and slowly amassed a following through posting daily videos online. While at most the cult had only about 20 full-time members that lived together, they extensively used the internet to reach a large audience who would donate money, buy products, and watch the daily live streams. The videos often got thousands of views. The group had a kind of new age spin to it, and many of the rules were some extreme or bizarre spin on some of those new age ideas. For example, focusing on chakras and encouraging members to wear clothes that matched a chakra color for the day, or eating foods that matched that color too. They would only eat foods that had been donated, and not much of it at that. They were not allowed to snack ever, and members were reportedly punished if they ever took naps. They also believed in planetary ascension and were proponents of some conspiracy theories. Terms that were commonly used within this cult were lightworks and twin flames, which are common terms but not always used in such a harmful way. But they had this appearance to the outward world of doing good and being good people. So I think that's what helped draw people into them. Especially during the pandemic, the message of love has won really reached a lot of people who saw that what they were projecting out into the world, a message of love for others, holistic medicine, and a spiritual path. It also provided a place for people who felt down and out to feel better about themselves, since members looked down on the people that did not join them and were still part of the 3D world, where the members themselves had achieved 5D status. They were able to reach so many more people than a lot of other groups because of how astute they were in utilizing social media and the internet to spread their message. Of all the messages that were sent out by the group, all of these beliefs were secondary to the idea that Amy herself was God. She herself claimed that she had lived through 534 lifetimes, including a stint as Jesus Christ, Cleopatra, Marilyn Monroe, and Joan of Arc. She was also supposedly receiving messages from someone on her spiritual team, the deceased Robin Williams, whom she said she communicated with from the other side. Members believed that ordinary people lived in a 3D existence, but if you join their cult and follow their belief system, you can ascend to a 5D existence, whatever that means. So if you watch some of the older videos, Amy's a lot more calm and tame, but as time went on, she used more alcohol and got increasingly loud, abrasive, and it seems downright abusive towards her members. And all of this was captured on live streams. I can't even play clips of these because they are so laced with profanity, but they are out there if you want to look them up. Amy at different times called her followers whores, regularly swore at them, appeared visibly drunk in the streams and at one time berated a member for bringing her the wrong food when he made the grave misstep of bringing her meatballs when she wanted chicken parmesan. She was known for holding a cat up by its scruff, I don't know, just some weird stuff. Some people say that's fine, but some people said she wasn't very kind to animals and that she'd had other members just abandon their animals and tell them that they had moved on from them now when they went on vacation. I read a description about one video where it shows Amy locking a crying child in a closet. I didn't watch it because I think it would just be too upsetting, that poor kid. In expletive-filled rants, she called herself God outright. Often, live streams were openly racist and anti-Semitic, even defending Hitler and the Holocaust. The final father, Love, was a man named Jason Castillo who joined Amy in 2018. He was described as erratic, mean, and abusive to members as well. Both of them reportedly would abuse their power and status in the cult to have sex with other members of the group. Of course, the Love Has Won members denied being a cult, but they fit many of the trademarks that define a cult. Amy controlled many aspects of their lives. She did not believe that they should be sleeping, so members reportedly were only allowed to sleep for 4 or 5 hours a night, if that. That was a lot. She controlled what they ate, their sexual activity, and they had to turn their savings and income over to the group. Some of the more devoted members dispute these claims, saying that members freely turned over their money to the group, and ones who were complaining about lack of sleep just weren't devoted enough to the group. They said, why waste time sleeping? If you believe in something, you should give 200%, which apparently means not taking care of your body and getting adequate sleep. But as you know, this is one of the methods used by cults to gain control over people's minds. If you're not sleeping, you're not able to think clearly and rationally. A former member has said that while she wasn't ordered to turn over control of her money, it was very heavily implied that she should, and members who kept any personal funds were guilt-tripped and berated and were made to feel like they were disappointing God. The mission of the group was supposed to be to spread love and create a community, but this really wasn't the experience most members had. One man, Alex, left his wife and children to join the cult. He was found days later, dehydrated and wandering around the mountains naked with cactus thorns in his feet. He was told that he didn't have the right energy for the group, so he was abandoned by them. It took a while for his family to be able to get through to him and kind of deprogram him from the influence of Mother Love. Love Has Won was known for selling what they claimed were medical supplies, expensive crystals, and Amy performed etheric surgeries that were performed remotely. I don't even understand how that would work, but Amy claimed that she had cured the people she treated of cancer, brain tumors, and helped in cases of autism. Okay. She apparently charged $88 for a treatment and said that this treatment would get rid of any bad energies that were plaguing them and obviously physical issues as well. Toward the end of her life, Amy claimed often that she had stage 5 cancer, which doesn't even exist, with cancer being measured in stages 1 through 4. She also was not known to ever have received a cancer diagnosis. Amy's health continued to decline, however, and there were times where she asked to go to the hospital, but the members refused to bring her to a 3D hospital. They claimed to have done this because Amy had previously signed documents asking them to never take her to a hospital under any circumstances. So even when she got really bad, they just refused to bring her. The cult members claimed that Amy was suffering so much and was so explosive and abusive towards them because she was taking on all the pain and suffering for the world. Kind of a martyr figure. When she finally died, they called her death an ascension. When the police discovered the corpse, it was described as being displayed in a rather shocking way, with the eyes appearing to be missing through decomposition, and there was heavy makeup on the face and glitter around the eye sockets. The mummified body was inside a sleeping bag and wrapped in Christmas lights. It looked like it was some kind of shrine to their mother god. It is unclear exactly when Amy died, but it was estimated that she had been dead for a couple of months when her body was found. The cult members hadn't reported her body found, but eventually, I think the owner of the house that they were at came back from vacation and reported it to the police. Amy died at 45 years old, but how did she die? Although she claimed to have cancer, that was disproven. In videos leading up to her death, she appeared to be increasingly unwell and eventually unable to walk. She also grew increasingly emaciated and had a graying complexion. An autopsy revealed that Amy died from a combination of long-term alcohol abuse, anorexia, and as a result of her habit of regularly consuming large amounts of colloidal silver, which the group sold and touted as having many healing benefits as a supplement. As an aside, the FDA says that colloidal silver is not safe or effective for any medical purposes. Not that they're always right about everything, but really look into something before you use it, obviously, as a supplement, as the results can be unproven at best and dangerous at worst. In the end, 7 of the cult members were arrested for abuse of a corpse. Local law enforcement was very familiar with this group, having received numerous complaints from families across the country. He accused the group of brainwashing people and stealing their money. Unfortunately, the cult didn't end with the death of Amy Carlson. Spin-off groups have continued with the mission of the cult and selling the products. There are 2 main ones which I won't list here to avoid giving them any more traffic or publicity, but they do continue the mission of the cult, although I guess they don't really get along with each other. Like, these 2 groups are like different factions of key members from before, and they don't cooperate on stuff. There's ongoing efforts to deprogram members and former members. That's so scary to me. It's hard to process how someone gets so much influence over other people and ends up convincing them that she is literally a god and should be catered to. Of course, I want to hear what you think on this case. Have you heard of Love Has Won? Do you think it's a cult? What do you think of Mother Love? Thanks for joining me in this discussion of an interesting cult.